Hi, Elise Dewsberry here, and in this edition of my vlog, I want to talk to you about secrets, or more specifically, secrets and how they relate to musical theater. Many years ago, when I for the first time heard a lecture from my mentor, John Sparks, who's the founding director of New Musicals, Inc., he made a speech about how he felt that musicals shouldn't have secrets, or at least that the writers of a musical should not keep secrets from the audience. And when I heard that all those years ago, I thought I knew better. I am a huge fan of detective stories, of suspense stories, and like many people, I love a good surprise. I love that great aha moment. And so I thought, John can't be right about that. He's a brilliant man, but here's an area where he's wrong. But I have to tell you that over the years, it didn't take me too long. After a few years, I started to realize just how right John was. And the more I looked into it and the more I paid attention to it, the more I became a convert, to the point now where I'm evangelical about my agreement with John that it is not a good idea for a musical theater writer to keep secrets from their audience. So let me talk a little bit more about what I mean by that. In a detective story, in a suspense story, in a play, where we don't necessarily get inside of the actors' heads, particularly in a play, having that, not knowing what's going on and having a secret kept from us so that we can arrive at that aha moment can be really exciting. And I totally understand why writers often want to try to create that aha moment. I had a writer just the other day talking to me about how he didn't want to make a particular change to his piece because he thought it would lose the surprise in this moment. And I said, fair enough. I understand how exciting that moment is, that you've been waiting and building and building, and suddenly when the audience finds out the truth, they get their opportunity to say, oh, wow, that's amazing. But here's my counter argument. Up until that moment, the audience can't see inside that character's head, especially not in the way that a musical is able to deliver so powerfully, because that character, in order to keep a secret from the audience, can never sing their truth. They have to always lie to the audience, and therefore you're limited in what they can sing about. If it weren't a musical, they could be lying to everybody around them and we wouldn't be inside their head. But in a musical, we expect to get inside of their head a little bit more, and you can't let them sing their truth because that would ruin the surprise. So that's one side of my argument. The other related way of looking at it is that if you save up for that aha moment, what you're giving up is every moment along the way. If the audience knows something, they can be looking at every single moment with a sense of irony, with a sense of tension, wondering what's going to happen. When is this character going to be found out? When is this surprise going to happen? And we can be engaged for every single moment. And I put it to you, is it worth giving up all of that for that one aha moment, especially if we haven't been engaged prior to then? Will that one aha moment fix the fact that we just weren't all that interested until that moment? Now, over the years, I've made this argument, and I often see people's eyes glaze over as they think, no, she's wrong, and John's wrong, and secrets are fun. But a new example has come up for me, which is what made me want to do this vlog today, is that I realized a good example is the musical Dear Evan Hansen, which won the Tony for Best Musical this past year by Pasek and Paul. And I put it to you that if Pasek and Paul had decided that a secret, an aha moment would be worth it, to say, let's let the audience think that Evan is actually friends with this boy who committed suicide. Let's keep this a secret from the audience and have this all unfold with Evan telling everyone he was this person's friend and starting all of this stuff in motion. And then think about that fabulous aha moment right near the end of the show when we find out that Evan wasn't actually friends with that the lead character wasn't actually friends with Evan Hansen after all. And we have this great aha moment of, oh my goodness, he wasn't really friends with Evan Hansen. It was a lie, and oh my goodness. And that would be quite an aha moment. But what Pasek and Paul have chosen to do is to keep that secret from the characters in the musical, not from the audience. The audience knows all along that he was not friends with Evan Hansen. And so we get to spend the whole musical going, oh, look at how deeply he's getting himself into this. How's he going to get out of it? What's going to happen? When's he going to be found out? What's going to happen when the people around him? And then you do sort of get the aha moment when the people who do not know the truth discover the truth. They get to have the aha moment. But we have been engaged for the entire piece, wondering with the tension and the fear and, wondering when is this all going to come to a head. Whereas if we'd been in the dark like the rest of the characters, I don't think we would be so engaged. I think we would spend the whole show going, oh, well, this is interesting. He was friends with this kid who committed suicide, and so he starts this whole group, and isn't that sweet? And there would be no subtext. There would be no irony. There would be no tension. There would be no conflict because we don't know that it's going to happen. We would have a big aha moment, just like the characters in the show do who find out later in the day. But we would have missed all of the fun leading up to it. So I have long held this belief. I now believe totally in what John has said. And I hope that this example of the show Dear Evan Hansen will help bring some more converts to our side of believing that there's nothing whatsoever wrong with having your characters keep secrets from other characters on stage. But I personally don't think it's what you gain for an aha moment is worth what you lose keeping your audience in the dark. So that's why I say don't keep secrets. When you're writing a musical, don't keep secrets from your audience. And that's it for today. Thanks.